Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from Dubai. This is Zaim, and you can see I'm from Redberry Travel and Tours. I hope you guys can see my screen. This is Redberry, which is working in Dubai, United Arab Emirates since 2015, and into travel and tourism business, of course, since 2015. My introduction, very quickly, you can see bright and shine face. There is no light, good light. I'm sorry for that. Born in Pakistan with the MA English, LLB degree, MBA from UK, and Masters in Hospitality. I have been living in Middle East for the past 22 years, and I'm a motivational speaker as well in different universities in United Arab Emirates, and I have done one lecture in the University of Europe in Rome. I have been working as a hotel consultant as well, and travel is passion. So far, 74 country, which I have been very recently in Conventa, which is happening since 13 years in Slovenia. This is also and one of the travel event which is happening there in Ljubljana, the capital. I'm advisory board member as well in different organizations all over the world. Moving forward, what would be the content? I will be sharing the details what tourism services we are offering from Redberry Travel and Tourism Consultancy, the main and prime business, which is MICE and incentive trips, groups, FIT. And I will be in the end particularly talking about the Halal Tourism as well. Our journey started Redberry as a corporate services in 2014, and then we started with hotel consultancy in 2015. We ended up into the tourism consultancy in 2018, and 2019 we started the travel and tour services full-fledged under the umbrella of Redberry, in fact. Redberry Corporate Services, just a quick glimpse in one slide that we have clients worldwide. My partner looks after all these things. Whoever is coming to form a company, either it is mainland, LLC, free zone, or offshore in UAE, we provide all kinds of services from starting their journey from their country into the flight tickets and the hotel arrangements, transports, and then, of course, helping in the business setup and pasting their visas, opening the bank accounts, and all those details, which is one of form of our company in the Redberry. Now talking about the main, which is the tourism, travel and tourism, of course, which is the inbound and outbound. Inbound, I will not be talking much because here I'm more focused on the outbound business. The inbound, of course, as everyone knows that it is UAE visit visas our company is doing for hotel bookings, transport services, and all kinds of excursions in UAE destinations, including the city tours of UAE from Abu Dhabi to Dubai to Ras Al Khaimah to Fujairah, all states we are doing. And all those groups who are coming to UAE, we are doing the team building activities. Talking about the outbound, outbound from UAE is all over the world. Again, we are covering all the segments, starting from assisting in the visas, because most of the countries, they have given the visa services to the third party. Like, for example, VFS facilitate all clients here in UAE for their Schengen or UK or USA visas. And some of the visas, of course, are online visas or e-visas. We do obviously the flight arrangements, and then we book their conference bookings. In conference bookings, I will be talking more in my future slides. Gala dinner, team building activities. Some of my Emiratis clients, they love to have the luxury shopping experience as well. And then, of course, we do the tailor-made and bespoke experience for all our clients. Moving forward, and when we are talking about the hotel and tourism consultancy, just to give a quick glimpse in UAE, I have been involved in one of the boutique hotels in Al Barsha Heights, which we have set up in 2015. 2016, I have done the rebranding of a 4-star hotel in Dubai Sports City. Besides this, I'm actively participating in the government workshops, into the brainstorming sessions, and whenever we are having the new tourism attraction in UAE, then obviously we always attend those sessions, and then we communicate to our clients. When you talk about the worldwide, then I have done the hotel setup in Nigeria. It was basically predominantly one of the four-star concept, but then later on we took up one building and converted into a deluxe hotel apartment. I have done 6 months project in Sweden. It was the merger of Scandinavian and Nordic chain in one of the city, John Shopping in Sweden. That was a 3-star hotel, and that was 6 months project. Besides this, I have done an ecotourism project in Kenya that was just exactly between Serengeti, which is of course coming from Tanzania, and Masai Mara, which is in Kenya. That stretch where the Mara River and where the biggest migration happens. I have done one ecotourism project there as well. Besides this, sustainable tourism in Pakistan, that's what I have been involved in the recent years. MICE business, that is my bread and butter, or the main and key focus of our company. We have been receiving groups from Pakistan, India, and Turkey from automobiles, pharmaceutical companies, and construction sector. We have facilitated in arranging the conference for them. I have been, in fact, doing the food festival for one of the famous Pakistani TV channel, which is called Masala TV, continuously for 4 years, and I have done complete setup of the food festival, including their hotel stays and involving the community in everything. When we talk about the worldwide, which is of course more related to the exhibitors in the event as well, I'm just mentioning the key destinations here where I have been taking the business in very recent years. I have taken the group to Turkey, which was covering the banking sector. It was the annual conference. I have done project launch, also one of the automobile company from UAE, and that we have done in Istanbul. I have taken the group to Indonesia, but that was joint suppliers from UAE and Pakistan, because that was one of the paint company from Pakistan. And then Malaysia, we are doing the combined trips for Kuala Lumpur and Langkawi, but that was the corporate group of the pharmaceutical companies. That was also one of their annual conference. And then I have taken one of the banking sector annual group annual conference in Singapore in 2018. When you talk about the incentive layer, obviously I have again groups from worldwide to UAE, which I have facilitated very recently was oil and gas. It was a 2-day conference with gala dinner, fun activities, desert safari, and we have done the cruise at Dubai Marina Cruise. Besides this, I'm receiving the leisure group, which are covering the Dubai summer surprises, which very recently finished, which normally happens during summer, June and July, when the schools are off and people are still here before they leave. And most of the neighboring countries also come here to be part of those Dubai summer surprises. And then other than this, we have a Dubai Shopping Festival, which is coming very soon. Normally it happens in the month of January when the beautiful weather is in UAE. When I talk about the worldwide groups for the incentive layer, I focus on basically the two world fairs, which normally we have been taking in the past 3 to 4 years. Obviously, you have to minus these pandemic years from these tourism sector. Izmir World Fair, which has been happening in the month of September. Again, we had planned some of the group from 2nd to the 11th of September. We have got the special deals from Pegasus Airlines, which obviously can meet the budgets of my clients. Basically, this festival is very old and it has been happening since 85 years in Turkey. So it has a very good response from my clients when I have been sending groups from UAE to attend this. And the second one is Cappadox. Cappadox is happening in Cappadocia. Cappadocia is one of very nice, is famous for the hot balloons destination. And that is happening since 2015. I have been taking this group because Cappadocia is also famous for the UNESCO World Heritage. And this year it was from 14th to the 19th of June 2022. So we have taken some groups from that one as well. One of my favorite, because Thailand is one of our key destinations from a UAE market. We are taking groups especially to celebrate the Songkran, which is the Thai New Year, which is every year happening on 13th of April, and the next year it will be 13th to the 17th of 2023. We have already planned, we have segregated some good deals in our among the clients basically, and we are receiving some of the inquiries, and we will be working closely on that one. So obviously, it's a very good festival that embraces goodwill, love, compassion, and thankfulness to celebrate Thai traditional New Year. Besides this group to Bali, you can see two festivals I have mentioned predominantly. Bali Spirit Festival, which is happening from 19th to the 22nd. And that is basically a global celebration of yoga, dance, music, and that happens in Ubud, Bali. And that we are also doing on a yearly basis. Other than this, we have a very famous Bali Arts Festival. Bali Arts Festival basically stays for a year, for a month, sorry, and that's the reason that we have segments of groups which are covering the families, friends from the corporate side, as well, who want to travel on their leisure time. So we have ample time. For example, this year it was 12th of June till the 10th of July, and all the cultural lovers basically, they would love to fly during this time basically. Other than this, of course, we talk about the FIT business, solo, friends and family, and then we have a group of all ages which we welcome them in UAE, and we give each and everyone a different experience as per their demands. When we talk about the worldwide groups, of course, Southeast Asian countries are the very happening places from UAE. I always would like to mention that UAE, when you're talking about 1/3 of the population or the world, sorry, is exactly into 4 to 5 hours of UAE. So destination is very important. The flight timings are very important for us. So Southeast Asian countries are really a prime location for a UAE market as well, which of course we cover each and every segment of the travelers, from solo to friends and family and custom made. We are doing the train adventures in different part of the world also. Africa and Canada are very famous for that. And then, of course, we do the hiking trips. In Tanzania, we have been doing for the Kilimanjaro. We have been doing for some of the glaciers, I mean, the top mountains in Pakistan as well. We have been doing K2. We have been doing some base camp to the Mount Everest in Nepal as well. Then we had a very nice group experience in Vietnam when we were doing the boat trip in the wooden boats where 4 people maximum can sit. We have a group of people where we have taken them just passing under the the huge mountains in Vietnam. That was also very great experience for my clients. Now, particularly, I would like to, mention or spend more time on the halal tourism, because this is one of the key factor which have been, talk of the town whenever we have been sending clients from UAE, because UAE is a Muslim country. End of the day, even though we have a mix of nationalities who are living here. So for us, obviously, this is very important when we take care of each and every segment's requirements. So here I will be just covering a little bit more information on the halal tourism, so our exhibitors and the partners can have a look into this one. So what is the history? It's linked to the 1400 years ago when Muslims started doing the Hajj, its annual Islamic pilgrimage to Mecca in Saudi Arabia. The concept of traveling is basically that it connects the traveler to God, the creation, nature, and the universe in different ways. It is a way to understand other religions and living and cultures also. So population, if you talk about nearly 2 billion Muslim population living, which is the global population of 24% covering. What is halal? As you can see that one is mentioned already, that Arabic means permissible. Halal food is slaughtered in accordance with the teachings of Islam, Sharia, and is free of any substances forbidden by Islam, such as pork and alcohol. So halal tourism is also linked to the word halal, where you talk about the, all the related requirements should be met in whenever the Muslims are traveling. So in 2015 figures, I would like to share, where 117 million Muslim travelers went to different part of the world, who had raised around, generated, I would say, 200 billion US dollars spent. They have done, for the tourism side. So what are the key drivers basically? What are the facts basically? That the population is growing. It's a middle class population is as well growing. It's a younger population, increasing access to travel information because of the social media revolution. And when you talk about the faith-based needs, obviously the most important point is the halal food they need, prayer facilities. Ramadan, most of the, I would say, Muslims, they don't travel during Ramadan, but I'm just mentioning as a point here. Water-friendly washrooms, we call it a Muslim shower in the washroom that should be there. No non-halal activities, for example, pork and the alcohol related things, recreational facilities, swimming pools and gyms. So all that things which are basically faith-based needs. When you talk about the Muslim family friends destination, then obviously they are looking at the Muslim traveler and general safety, Muslim visitor arrivals, dining options, halal assurance, access to prayer spaces, airport facilities, and air connectivity, accommodation options. As I mentioned, that accommodation option is always with the prayer, Mecca sign in the hotel rooms. Most of the countries, they have this. The availability of the prayer mats, availability of the halal food in the hotels. When you talk about the hotel room, I had mentioned here Holy Quran, copy normally kept in the cupboard or drawer. I have seen in some of the Switzerland hotels who are Muslim-friendly destinations. Qibla direction, as I mentioned already, prayer mat, and of course the family-friendly TV, viewing TV, alcohol-free beverages, and water usage-friendly washrooms also. So in a nutshell, need to have, of course, I mentioned good to have and nice to have. So these three categories I have, particularly mentioned on this slide. I would like to, in the end, share a quick, courtesy MasterCard, the data which was taken into the global index in 2016. Three factors were involved when they were taking this, survey. Where family-friendly holiday and safe travel destination they have chosen, Muslim-friendly services and facilities at the destination, and the last one was the halal awareness and destination marketing. So these three segments they kept in mind when they have done this survey. So 48 was the Organization of Islamic Cooperation countries, and 82 were the non-OIC destinations. So 130 destinations where 95% of the Muslim visitors. So they have done this basically the survey. So in this slide, you can say that Malaysia was number one as a destination, which scored based on three segments, which I mentioned, 81%. And you can see the rest of the countries. And this is as per the map. You can see the location of those countries. And then you talk about the top non-OIC destinations, then you can see Singapore is number one and Thailand is number two. So Southeast Asian countries, again, they were there in the number two destinations. Overall index, of course, was number 8 for Singapore and 20 for Thailand, but non-OIC, it was the number 1 and 2. So as per the map, you can have a look at this slide. Moving forward, when you do the comparison and the comparison of the different areas, for example, Americas, Europe, Africa, Oceania, and Asia. So you can see the average score of each and every region is mentioned here. In a nutshell, you can see which country was top, Malaysia on OIC, and non-OIC was Singapore. So you can see the score as well, which is a very, in fact, for the exhibitors and for the product suppliers, a very useful information by keeping these things in mind, how they are promoting their products in these markets or predominantly in UAE. So the last but not the least, what is the procurement wish list? We are talking about the destinations, of course, worldwide. We are talking about Southeast Asian countries. As I mentioned, Thailand is number one destination for UAE. Pre-pandemic, obviously, it's a good news that Thailand is open for the visitors now. Thailand, Malaysia, we are talking about Indonesia, Maldives, Japan, China. We have started 2019 Vietnam and Cambodia combined trips. See you soon in Dubai, and thank you very much. If you have any questions, my mobile number, my WhatsApp is mentioned here. My email number is also mentioned. You guys can contact me whenever you like. Thank you very much and have a lovely day. Take care. Bye-bye.